And we're going to take our time and address every single one of these. And we're going to make sure there's plenty of product in there to seal off every one of those. As you see, this one here, it's got a big gap. We need to make sure that gets closed off. That was a good spot to mention this needs help.
This works especially good where you're in snow country, where you got snow piled up on your roof. Those are areas that actually leak. They leak behind that metal, goes down behind the flashing into the roof.
Leaves too. Leaves fall.
Yeah.
I had a phone roof that I'd actually did. And it had a wall like that. Even though I was all completed with it, they still had a leak. I checked the roof. I couldn't find anything. So the only option was that we still had seams like that. So what I did is I went and closed off all those seams and took care of it.
This is really tough. The bottom of my shoes is sticking to this primer. That's how sticky this stuff is.
All you need to do is just go barefoot.
This corner right here. This corner right here.
Take a look at this corner.
It's obviously really bad. There's a big hole there, and that could cause some serious problems right there. But this 360S is pretty. It's a little stiffer. I'm going to go ahead and put some of that in there as a base before I even go over that with fabric. I'm going to address that further with fabric when we get to it. I'm going to fill that corner in and fill those voids. And the one thing these roofs are not is something you can run in and out on, spray top coat, and be done. Yep. Coatings don't work that way. This is not a quick system that you can just go in there, plaster top coat, and be done. But I'm going to go ahead and address this whole area right here because you have something in a building called positive and negative air pressure. And what it does is when there's water on your roof, it can actually suck in and suck out of those pinholes, and it will pull water right in the pinhole. Get ready for the quick talk for the fabric.
About to get these dry.
Everybody knows how to run one of these, right? If you haven't run one, this would be a good time for you. So, we're going to leave that like that, but we would go all the way through there and address that whole area, make it 100% seamless, and for sure up this corner.
The 360S is the urethane top. If the roof is dry, you get it on there, it can rain immediately, and it'll cure the water.
For really good water, no? Yeah.
Like a sewn elastic.
Huh?
Like a sewn elastic.
Yeah, and it stays, it keeps the plasticity. Oh my goodness. You can just like a piece of rubber, you can make a slingshot out of it. Right.
Now we're going to use faster grade caulking for this. You can use benchmark base coat, and it works wonderful, or any base coat. It works wonderful to go across this and seal this off. What we've discovered is quick caulk, it goes above and beyond what they call for, but that's what we like to use. I think every roofer here that's experienced with Conklin knows that quick caulk is your best friend. And all of this roofing, quick caulk is your friend. Yeah.
We love it.
You got a little piece of 2 inch there.
You want to do your
Assistant.
What's that?
What do you need?
Oh, we got it right here. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's right. Okay.
So you do a quick caulk, it works. A lot of Conklin's products work really good to get them going in the system. Once you figure out how 2 or 3 guys can work together, it goes the best. So we're going to make sure when we put fabric down, see, that ain't big enough. We need 6 inch. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this right here on this little splice because it was 100% flat. And once you get a couple guys going on something, it works really good. This takes a little more time using quick caulk than it does with base coat, but we found that it takes care of pinholes. It's you know, the end result, doing it right the first time is a lot faster than coming back the next time. And what I'm doing here is I'm just embedding this, and I'm not worrying about going over top of it right away. I'm going to let that harden up a little bit.
What's the harden time on that?
Oh, what do you think, Sam? Give it.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
If it's hot, if it's nice and warm and humidity's low, 50, 60, 30 minutes, you could probably pretty much get on there. If it's like today, it might be 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
You got 100% humidity out here, you know?
Oh yeah.
So you just work with weather. See, that's the other thing about this is you have to work with the weather, the climate that you have at that day. You know.
That was another question. For humidity, it doesn't affect any moisture in the air.
Just drying. Because this will.
Yeah. If it does end up going over it, we're going to address that over there on that side there. If it does go over it, you want your front foot there. Don't avoid the seams because there's screws there. Those seams do need to be addressed anyway. But what we're going to do is make a slice down the center of these ribs. And we're just going to embed this fabric. This fabric is wonderful. If you've ever tested it against other product manufacturers' fabric, you'll find this is a wonderful fabric. Very, very strong. And it'll go back to its original form if you stretch it out. Now you do get your hands a little bit nasty getting in there. One thing I like to do is make sure my top is down in there really good.
You want good adhesion on that first application. You want to squeeze it into the coatings, you know, a little bit.
Just take care of those any dips or voids or wrinkles. Just take care of that as much as you can, and it makes it easier when you come back. Now this is where we ask you guys to come in and finish that out.
And you do.
So if one guy will come and take the brush and lead the way, the other guy can come and get the fabric and come in behind him and make those snips on the ribs.
Don't be bashful. Grab a brush. We got some paint brushes over here, I think. Just kind of work a little together there. Is that what happened right there is what does not happen when it dries. So it makes the life a lot easier to come back after it's dry a little bit.
Who's the strongest guy in here?
Oh, we're doing it today.
That guy?
Set up a little.
Yeah, let it set up.
It would be best to go down the line maybe
Here.
and then come back.
Then come back.
Put something into it. You can't do that. I've never seen another product you can do that.
That's 4-dimensional too. You know, you can rip it both ways. I mean, it doesn't tear both ways. That's a nice thing.
When you lay the fabric out, make sure you never stretch it as you're laying it out. Make sure the fabric always goes down in a relaxed state. When it dries, as that dries, it's going to shrink if you stretch it out. And it will shrink because it's very strong. So it'll pull away from everything, it'll shrink. And then you'll end up
Right up to the-
folding up a little bit.
So it's not like an actual hole where you want to
Got it, Howard.
No,
you
you
want
want
to let
to
it lay in there.
Yep. The key to that is getting enough material under it, put it in a relaxed state, and just it'll lay here. Primer coming up off of the metal. We see a new product, and what's happened here is we used a brand new metal, and we didn't etch it. It's very important that you make sure your prep work is done right. If you don't do it, you're going to have that happen. And I'm glad that happened because we can show you what happens rather than you go bid a roof because it's a 3-4-year-old roof. You go out and go over it without doing a full test. That can happen. You need to etch it with rust off. Pressure wash it with 4,000 psi minimum, and that will not happen. Do a pull test if at all in doubt, and make sure that you got your proper adhesion. So that'll avoid things like that going on, where your coatings will come up. We've seen jobs like that with Conquest products because they were not addressed properly. That's the only reason. So if you guys want to grab that and help him out, get up these brushes and get going, spread some caulking through there just like he did. There's nothing like the confidence you get from getting coatings on your hand and seeing what it does.
Is there a rule to using, I mean, I know you're using like a 4-inch.
Usually we don't have a fan blowing
yeah.
over your blowing.
On the vertical seam, you're using 2-inch. On the horizontal, you want 6-inch.
Okay.
Where there's a really, really flat surface, you can use 2-inch. Now usually these seams don't lay that nice. Usually there's a little bit of inconsistencies, and you need to brush, put caulk in there liberally, take care of those voids, and then put your fabric over it. Plus your metal is going to move a lot going this way, and when it's sitting this way, the water's going to hit that, and you're going to have, you want it more sealed for further for more forgiveness. On the 2-inch seams or fabric, you use those when the water is running along it. It's not going to run up in there so much because it's running off of it. Here it's kind of, a lot of times
keep
the
on
funnel
going
there,
across here, fill it,
quarter
and then
inch
we'll come
or
back and
slow,
smooth
something
it
like
out.
that. You want more covering area where that's really good.
There you go. It's looking good. That's looking really good.
Again, keeping product on your brush and using it liberally is the key. And make sure your fabric does not lay down anywhere where there's no coatings underneath. If you go over a void where there's no coatings, you're going to have problems. That's going to be your mistake, not the product. There's a lot of forgiveness in that, in these products, but if you just avoid that altogether, you're saving yourself a lot of headaches.
Get to overlap the sponge flex at
Yeah,
all?
go about 2 inches, but what I'm talking about is like right there. You just
Yeah.
want to, when you lay that out, or yeah, use your finger. What I do is grab the fabric and I smear it in there a little bit and take care of that. That's all it needs. But you don't want to lay it over a void. And make sure you don't stretch it.
It's always good.
Edge it, add your pressure wash, and you put this, you use a backpack sprayer, you apply rust off, and you pressure wash it with 4,000 psi. And when that's all done properly, you end up with a wonderful roof. They are fast, but they're not something that you run through quickly. It's something that you can address those areas. These products do go on pretty fast, but don't look at it as get rich quick or we can get these roofs planned out. That's not the mentality to have. Pay attention to your detail, and they'll treat you wonderfully. The Marina, we've been in the game a long time. We love these products. We were using a lot of the same things you guys are doing, and now we're 100% focused on it. That's a little stretched out right here. You want to be real careful. And when that happens, go like that. Bring it back. This side, you can see there's shadowing on the rib. You can see a lot more of that, the original galvanized color that's in there, but from that side, there's not very much at all. What happens is if your sprayer is completely centered on those ribs, or if you're not addressing one side of the ribs and then coming back and addressing the other, there's going to be shadowing. You want to be very careful with that, especially with top coat. So make sure there's no shadowing on your roof, because that top coat is what protects it from the sun. Without that top coat, the rest of it's going to fail eventually. You know, years down the road, that top coat is what gives it longevity. So make sure when you do that top coat that there's no shadowing. And if there is, simply go back and fix it. Right here. Right here along these seams. See that? This side's done very well. It's kind of the direction I was walking with my sprayer. I wanted you guys to see that. Because those are problems we're going to have on the Yeah. We're going to seal it now. Alright, you guys see anywhere else that needs issues need to be dealt with for seamless paint?
Found that right in.
Very good. More fasteners. Some fasteners got missed right there. Good job paying attention to detail. Alright, go ahead. I'm using that product liberally, and that's good. That's key. Good adhesion, getting that product down there. Now I want to make sure I'm centered on that. I want to make sure I'm overlapping that top fabric. In there somewhere. Now, what a lot of people will do is they're going to grab that roll about that far and they're going to pull all the wrinkles out and then they're going to lay it back down. That's exactly what you don't want to do. You want to put this roll on in a relaxed state. You want to take your finger, unroll it if you need to, if it's catchy. You just want to make sure that it's really relaxed when you put it in there and you won't have any problems. What I like to do for this bottom is I like to cut it about a 1/4 inch pass. It just keeps that water from wicking around the edge. It gives it a place to rip off when it's hitting that. And we have stopped leaks by doing that. I know we have.
Where's that brush? See another top coat.
Brush with a handle right there.
No brush here.
Brush with a handle.
There it is.
Hiding. Product.
Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a brush on a stick so that we don't need to bend over. And we're just going to be really careful to cover all the pinholes. And we're going to brush that all the way out. Now, once you get a system down with this, you can do 15,000 square feet in a day of seams, something like that.
3 guys should be able to,
3 guys.
you
can do it pretty fast.
10,000 square feet. Easy.
But more important than fast is doing it right. All right, somebody else jump up, grab that roll. Somebody grab the brush, let's do another one. Side when you're doing seams. Always that way, you're all gonna be on that side. But when you come back and walk over your roof before top coat, look for things where you go over bumps. Rufus did it right, he covered it well, and he got it. But up until he grabbed that brush, there was a little bit of a hump right there where that seam, as it dries, it would have came up just a little bit because there wasn't enough product there. Rufus covered it, but that's something you want to look for, and I just want to let you guys know, do a final inspection before top coat. Walk over there and make sure everything's right.
One
Walk
more
around.
thing. These guys are young guys. See them right here? You see their intensity? That's what it takes. You want to know that you know, and you've got to have some desire, and you've got to get in there. And when you figure those little things out, that's it. I mean, you may have a leak after that 15,000 square foot, 50,000 square foot's on, but it won't be hard to fix because there's just only a pinhole. Everything's done right, everything's stuck down. You got to have a desire, you got to want it, and that's where the secret's at.
There's a lot of money to be made in these roofs. There's a lot of money to be lost if you go back and fix mold all the time. So let's roll that up so that we don't get more base coat on this roll. Now, what we just did is we didn't roll that roll through this section here because we wanted to keep the base coat off this roll because we're not going to use that again right away. That's something to keep in mind for you guys. Save your roll when you get close to the end.
That way it's not stuck together.
That way it's not stuck together. It keeps your shoulders from falling asleep. You take this and pump it full, and then you find the right flow, and you just let it flow continuous. What you do is you walk along and you just dab the screws. You just get the hang of it, and you go over every screw, and there's no product in it right now. So I just wanted to show you guys that's how we do it, and you can literally do a ton of square feet of roof.
On the last
I just go fast, and you just go over it, and you get your pressure right, along with your flow right, and you just keep on trucking right along.
That saved us like so much time in the last job we did compared to doing it the old way with the caulk gun. Lots of time.
Where do you find a thimble like that?
Oh, just a steel at a time. Let's go down. Show you how to do a wall that comes up. You want to cut it off.
If you want to do a straight edge,
Then you do a mask it off with paper or something, and then you do a straight edge right up there. Now watch this. Now take it out. Look at that. Detail.
that's much faster than tape and paper, and it does a beautiful edge.
Okay. Center of the rib.
Yep.
Up high like that.
Yep. Start off. Okay, when I do on the roof edge like that, what did you show them this? When I start on the roof edge, I don't start down here. All I do is I come up here about like right here, and I come down here like this.
A lot of you feet or so are way.
See that?
You don't walk off your roof either.
You know what I'm saying? I actually like going up about 4 feet right in the
Yeah, we do that on last.
Not on an angle.
Oh, you're talking about showing the guys how to do that? Yeah, I go out to the edge. Now, usually there's a gutter there, so I just go into the gutter. But if there's no gutter there, you need to have something holding something on the bottom side so you get coatings on all the way through. Okay? Let's get what works good is like 3/4 inch iso board. Like insulation board or something that's light. Guys can hold it right on the edge there. So that you just go up here like this. I got something like this. And just put it right on the board. Okay?
You
Nice
might want to
and
push that over there.
all the way out.
Yeah, where you're going.
Okay, just go out the middle. Don't do anything over here.
For final inspection, you're going to walk through here, and you're going to see stuff like this shadowing, this underneath this caulk. That stuff, if that building owner walks up to that roof to do an inspection, he's not going to want to see that. Whoever he sends up there, whatever he does, he's going to want to see a perfectly clean roof. You're actually going to want to do a final inspection with a brush. Take like a 2-gallon bucket, fill it with Boom XL, and just walk up there with a brush, and wherever you see something like that, you're just going to hit it. I found that to be a very effective way to do that. take care of all your problems before you get anybody up there to even look at it and try to collect your check. Brush that in with more quick